Okay, so I wanted to speak about abundance. Tonight is my money night, my setup routine. I found these cowrie shells. They're rare from what I know to find, and I found 3 in 1 day, and I was so happy. So it's like abundance to me, and I did it my thing. I anointed it. I did everything because this year we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right, right? So I wanted to speak about abundance because abundance is not only wealth. I used to link it up with wealth. I used to link it up with wealth. But what abundance truly is the natural state of where your creativity flows and brings in what you need to move and to survive and to just move here on earth, to experience what you want to experience, the desires, the passions, the just everything that it flows naturally. To some it comes easy, and to others it's fairly hard, right? And it has to do with a lot of when we're born. We go through a lot of stuff, and then people go through their stuff and they put it upon us, and it's just a whole mess. And on top of that, governments, a lot of different shit controlling, and it's just a lot that we get lost in the sauce. And then we come to a point that we think that this flesh and being poor and all the violence and everything is what it is, but it's not. That's the fucking illusion, and that's the fucking deceit. Okay, when we're born, we have birthright to our abundance. We came here with our abundance, but it's on layers and layers and layers. And when we come to a point where we're like start asking questions like, this is not it. Like, why the fuck do I keep suffering? Why the fuck does this shit keep happening? Why? I don't, you start getting answers. But remember, answers come when you're still in everything, because you can't get it by chaos. Like, you have to be still enough to receive them if you really want to receive them, right? So you start asking questions, and then that's when you discover and you start realizing that that's an illusion, and you could move away from that. You could move away from that and start just changing your way, your perception on how you perceive things. Like, there's abundance all around us. We have to find our own abundance, because I don't believe we all have individual abundance. It's something that just flows naturally. We could, it's just something that flows naturally for us, right? But there's abundance all around us. Now the thing is do we even notice it? Like, and the way you notice it is, how is your perception? You get me? Like, how's your perception? There could be a stack of money, hypothetically speaking, a stack of money next to you, but because your perception is that you need to keep looking straight ahead, because for whatever reason you are not going to see that abundance of stack of money. You're not going to see that. You're not even going to notice it. It's not in your world. It's not in your reality. It didn't even exist, but another person knows to be looking around and moving their thing, because their perception is that they know that there's abundance all around, and they know, so they pick up on that. So that's why it comes, so whatever. So we're made to prosper. We're made to flourish, right? And we're made to serve our creation. 11:11 on the freaking clock. 23, okay, 23%, right? So we're made to serve our creator. And how that looks, because I have a lot of resistance on certain words and certain things. Like, serve is like, what do you mean serve? Like, I don't want to be like a servant to nobody or to nothing, but that's very kind of like, who the fuck am I to say that to my creator? Like you created me, and now I'm being rebellious. I ain't gonna serve you. Like, make it make sense, right? So, but that word has an effect on me, but because I was kind of conflicting it with serving actual humans. In the work field, we're working for people, we're working for the bosses, and it's like you're serving them you're serving them their money, like you making them their money. You get me? So I had a hard time with that whole thing. So I have a whole time. So I was conflicting with that. But your relationships with actual flesh is not the same with the creator, right? So how that works and how you serve the creator is by serving yourself. That's what I came to it. You serve yourself. Like, how do you serve yourself? What are you doing to make you feel good, right? Because how I said this, and everybody says this, and we should all know that we're all one. We are the creator. It's just in bits and pieces, like separated in pieces, like, you know, just to experience stuff, right? So when we serve ourselves, we're serving. Like, make moves on serving our creator, because we're serving ourselves. Like, we're serving ourselves. Like, you going out and fulfilling your passion, or, you know, or working on removing blockages, and you have to put in the work. I would say this again, to some it comes easy, and to others it comes hard, and you can't cry about it. You cannot motherfucking cry about it. Yeah, I cried. I mean, you know what? Cry about it. Fuck that shit. Cry about it, because that's a form of release. Because when I cry, I release, and it just empowers me more. Because that's just another form of fucking release that you had to do, because your body, it was too much to consume, and it needs a place to release. And when the tears come out, that's emotions, and that's information, and that's a lot of things that were not supposed to be in you that you're releasing. And you need to release sometimes, right? So it does come hard for others, and it does come easy for others. But when it comes easy for others, I believe that there's other parts that are hard for them anyways, you know, they're relationship wise, but yeah, they had the wealth. The relationship sucks, but yeah, they had the wealth. You get me? It's everybody has its pros and cons to everything. So you can never compare yourself. That's the deadliest thing you could do to yourself, is compare yourself to anybody. So I didn't even read this quote, because I didn't know what background I was gonna put. But since this one said abundance, I wanted to leave it. So, but this, okay, it says your definition of abundance can also include the space you have in your life for rest, rejuvenation, naps, taking long breaks, practicing stillness, and doing nothing. That's a form of abundance. We don't always have to be doing something. We feel like we have to be doing something because we're already programmed to, like, be doing something. So it makes us feel like we're useless if we're not doing something. And I don't know, but it took me a while to be okay with just not, when I didn't have a job, to like wake up and kind of stay on my bed a little bit. You know, I felt like I had to get up, and when I stayed on my bed, I felt guilty. Like, what am I supposed to, and especially that I'm a mother, I'm like, oh, I have to, but I forget that we are not the flesh, we're the spirit, and we're soul. So poor is not supposed to exist. We are not supposed to fucking suffer as much as we're supposed, how much we're suffering, right? We're supposed to prosper, and we're supposed to indulge in our abundance. So let's find our abundance. Find your abundance so you could start tapping in and working in it. Does not happen overnight, but you put in the work, and inside you'll feel better. You'll feel better that the outside does not even fucking matter. Inside, as long as you feel good inside, what is the reality then? What is the reality? The outside or the inside? The inside. Because wherever you go, you're going with your home. So find your abundance, tap into abundance, tap into yourself. Okay, this is going to be the second part, because I had some other stuff that I wanted to speak about. Being poor, well, feeling like you're poor, and this has nothing to do with me, because I'm going to actually tell you, I've never felt poor so much that my sister, right, when we were already adults, she had mentioned something about being poor and this and that, and I was in shock. Like, so that tells you, if you don't feel it inside, you're not it. I've never felt poor. I've always felt like I had everything. But you know, I've always felt like I had everything. Mind you, we did get hands me down, because she was the oldest, and you know how it goes, you get the hands me down. But I didn't find a problem with that. Like, it was not a problem. If anything, it's beneficial. Like, why we gotta get new stuff? Like, you know, if it fits, it fits. If it's good, it's good. So but she was the oldest, so she most likely saw things, and she went through more stuff. If she had a different experience, you know. But I never felt poor. I've never felt poor. And I had somebody else, a friend of mine, tell me, oh, you know, us poor people, you know, including me. And I was like, hold up, I'm okay with my situation. Like, I don't, you know, what the fuck? Yes, but so it's all about your perception, right? So when I wanted to speak about poor is a state of mind. It is a freaking state of mind, and I'm proof. And I because I've experienced it, and now I could say it that it is it's a state of mind. So everything really is a state of mind. Like, if you want to live rich does not mean you have so much money. You're rich in spirit means you're rich. So it's all a state of mind. So how it goes is, for me, how I change my situation on what I don't like around me when my eyes are open, because I could be living in my la world, you know, but if the la world is working and you feel like, you know, I'm like not a child, but I do enjoy the world. I do enjoy the earth. I do see a lot of good in everything. Like I just love it. Like, there's certain things that will not come into my world close to me. Like, I could probably see it and hear about it, like see it, like, you know, scrolling, because that's a freaking fucking bad thing of media, if you really want to know, right? Because I've seen things that I would never see in my life, like, you know, because it's not in my world, you know, get me? But because I was indulging in something that I'm not supposed to, or, you know, or indulging a bit more than what I need to, you know, mindlessly, sometimes I see certain things that would never be in my world. So there's certain things that would never come into your world, that you would never experience. It's just certain things like that happens, right? So, but everything is a state of mind. So if you feel poor, you could ultimately change it. Nothing changes overnight. If it changed overnight, it's because you've been putting in the work, and it changed over that night, right? Now, you know, but I will always contradict myself, because I truly honestly believe that you can obviously change it overnight. Like, I don't know what work you're gonna do, but you can, right? Because things just magically happen. There's some unexplainable things that happen that you yourself can't explain, but you're not supposed to, like, even grasp on how. Never question the how. Just be grateful that it happened, that it changed, and you know where you are and stuff like that. So being in a state of mind means, if you could change your mind, if a female could go through many clothes, changing their mind per second, I mean, I know this is not the outfit, this is not the outfit, this is not the outfit, that state of mind, you could change it. You could change it like a girl changes clothes, you know. But it's hard. It's fucking hard. You know, it's hard, but like, where are you going? What are you doing? Like, would you still rather be in that state of mind, or would you put in the work to be in another state of mind? You get me? And funny thing is once you start tapping in and doing the work on whatever the work looks like for you, because there's never nothing that one size does not fit everybody. It does not, right? Once you start seeing results, little tiny results, that motivates you. It motivates you, and it's like, whoa, you know. Now let me put myself in example, because I could get motivated, I could see little results, but I could also disregard it when I don't feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be at. But you are where you're supposed to be at, and it took me some time to figure that out. You are supposed to be where you're at, right? Today, as a matter of fact, I forgot what was the in the car, what it was about, but it was in the basic, in the lines of that, if you're not experiencing, it had to do with relationship, right? And it took me back in the past that I was like, oh, I can't believe I was in this whole little world thinking that this was my world, and I was miserable and everything, but how limited my mind was to think that world only existed. And there's such a big world. Now that I'm single, I know there's like, it just opened my mind to like that there's actual other people around, you know? So, but with that being said, it took me to a place that is like, but at this moment, me realizing that if I did not go through that, I wouldn't have been realizing this. You get me? So you do go through certain things, and you do have to go through certain things, and if you believe it or not, the harder life fucked you, the bigger the not the come up. I don't want to say the come up, but it is like the come up. The bigger and the more precious you would give thanks to wherever you landed, if that makes sense, right? If that makes sense, right? So the harder you fall, the forget it. I'm not even gonna try to explain it. I hope you got that part, but that's so it's a state of mind. So if you wanna like move from that state. But is that everything links in kind of like a state here? You're trying to move from state to state, move from state to state. What do you got to do to move from state to state? You got to get ready. You got to see what you need. You got to see what you did. So when you go to that state of mind, that state, when you move to that state of where you want to be or whatever, it's like you're prepared, but now you know how to maintain it. You know, the reason you go through stuff, and there's a journey and stuff like that, is you're picking up stuff not to prepare you, yes, but it's mostly, if you're really smart enough, is to pick up the gems to maintain, to make it flourish, to know how to make it grow more, to know how to evolve it, to know how to maintain it. Because we could get out of the poor mindset, right? But we could always go back if we water and seed the thoughts that are from our past, you know. So in the journey to whatever mindset you want to be in, you have to plant the seeds in you so they could flourish and they could be planted, and they could be planted there, you know. You have to take out those weeds, so you could plant new flowers, so you could flourish in wherever you desire, wherever you're trying to go, your abundance or whatever the hell it is, you know. So none of this shit is non-existent, okay? We're supposed to be flourishing and prospering, okay? Abundance is our fucking birthright.